Well, I got a little more progress along with the trailer. You can see how well the that bed liner stuck. Barely. Figure probably no need to go back over it. I do have some left over, so I might do that. But I mean, that window's gone, so I'll have to put something there to cover it up. I'm gonna put a truck box there. One of those Tractor Supply ones. It's 48 inches wide, 18 deep. Cover that top. Still want to do some more stuff to trim it up, but it'll be good for now. Yeah, and then so I'm gonna put insulation up there. Just do it all the way around here. I've got some couple boards there. Might just use some thin stuff because I don't have enough to do the whole thing with those two boards. But I've got some of that stuff that's a little thicker. It's from a crate, so I took a crate apart from a piece of medical equipment, and that was left over. So I think I can get it to fit in that same position, so just across there. At least put it from the back to the front because I'm going to be pulling my four-wheeler up. Beyond that is not a big deal. So if I can do the back sides, one piece there, and then use one of those other sheets to cover the front, hopefully that's it, and then just save the other piece for later. Yeah. Otherwise, I think it's turned out pretty good. It's got a screen on this side. That side does not have one. I can always stick one on. So that's what that project is turned out to be. Got this here. So I still plan to put some sheet metal or something on the bottom of that, so I can throw straps and things in there. Maybe some sheet metal along the bottom, and then put some insulation under that. Not that it's going to do a whole lot, but it might do something. Keeping the heat in. I figure if I pull my four-wheeler up, still have a little room at the front. I've got a truck box. I picked that up real cheap. It's crappy, but I think I can use it. Throw a little JB weld over a couple of holes in the top, and then put that on the front. If I do a diesel heater, put it in there. Thinking of putting solar up top, somewhere up here, and then run the wires down, put a battery in there, can run the wires through, and I'm not worried about that thing falling apart because it's a piece of crap anyway. So yeah, so that's my project. Keeping some tires up there just to hold it down because it's flipping over. Doesn't look great, but I didn't want to waste another piece for a few inches, so I'll just try and trim it up there. It's done. I'm just putting that board under here, using some of the scrap for that, and then I'll figure something out just to trim over everything here, make it look somewhat nice. That closes and locks. What I'm considering is to keep this together because it's kind of wobbly. They kind of pull in towards each other. I'm thinking of seeing if I can get some metal to kind of go up here and then go across, a little bar to go across, and then that'll hold it together because I use that 2x4 across the back, but then I can't pull it in, so I have to pull it out every time I want to move any large stuff in and out. Didn't quite think about how the sheets of plywood and stuff wouldn't fit in this because it can't lay across the floor because I had tires in there, and then that's too short since it's not 4 foot high, it's like 3 foot, so I gotta angle the plywood like that. But just about done, so just gonna be happy with what I got. So just measuring here, that's 39 inches there. There's a little gap in that. Oh well. 39 inches. Come over here. I think I lucked out 38. Close enough. I'm gonna do a little half-inch gap on either side. Probably just spray some spray foam in there because unless I cut that down, it's gonna be a little hard to get it to fit. So I'm just gonna use some spray foam. It's not a lot, but it's enough. And then I'll figure something out just to I really don't want to take my circular saw through probably some screws up there. And it should be all good, and I want to trim it up, cover up that other side anyway. So yeah, shouldn't be a big deal. Not a whole lot of gaps, a couple here and there, but this thing's pretty sturdy. So that's all I need, is something sturdy to sleep in. Just glad this aluminum topper fit. It's got a ton of little dents, but I tried a fiberglass one, there was no way, and it would have been too wide. I've been holding on to this thing for a while. I found a use for it. I was thinking maybe a cabinet somewhere in the bus, but I figure once that wall's in, I'll just board it up there. That's 53 across, and that's 48. So yeah, try and get the front panels done, put that in, and yeah, start using it. Hopefully be done today. Roommates don't get back till 7, so it's 1, 2, I think it's around 2. So I got like 5 hours to finish that, and it shouldn't be too bad. So I'm doing here, checking the widest space like I did there, marking it on here. Just gonna use that as my straight edge, slice through it with the box knife there on this side, flip it over, just hold the board in place, slice through it again. Makes it super simple, and then just snap it apart. It's only got, I mean, it goes through at least 50% of the material. This is the truck box I'm planning to put on the front of the trailer up by the window. Figure that thing will be pretty stout. Yeah, we just had a downpour here. Luckily I could do some work inside. So I got a little bit more done. Probably grab some scrap pieces and fill in the top areas on that. But it's been pretty nice. I had that long piece. That's what all is in there. All I did was lay it down, measure it out, and then mark it and score it with the knife. I kind of had to do the marking. It's kind of redundant, but then I'm kind of able to see if that line's too fine, and then if I kind of screw up like I did on one of the pieces, you can see all the little bits. I had to go back and kind of trim some of the edges off, and some of that's the little chunk in the corner, or I had to attach some extra stuff too. So yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how this weather treats me. Hopefully not too bad, but I'm just glad to get some of this done, because if I can finish this off on the inside, then I at least can use it the way I meant to, and then I don't have to worry about working on anything on the inside. If all it is on the outside and not something I have to really mess with, other than trim. I mean, trim's not a huge deal if it's just little cosmetic stuff, and structurally it's good. That's perfect. So I just want to be able to do that. So got these two, a couple of tops on those, all these around there, except for that one. Just got that in. That was perfect. Then these 4, and I'll start putting in paneling. Woohoo! Well, it's about as far as I'm going to be able to get tonight. Still have to put the foam up here, wall at that end, and all the way down here. Was wishing I could get to this foam, but my mom invited me to dinner, so I'm headed over there. But yeah, otherwise I'd have gotten it done, and it's just pouring still. It's horrible. At least for trying to work on stuff. I can do most of it in here, but I just have to keep moving stuff around so it doesn't get wet, and then clean up after everything. So yeah, I didn't put this all the way at the top, so there's no gap at the top. Where it's sticking through, anything can get to it. Don't have to worry about bugs or spiders really getting in. So yeah, so I got about a half an inch here, half an inch down there. So that leaves breathing room. So if any water gets in, it's just wet from being out here. So that won't get stuck up into the board, hopefully. I mean, this is a little wet, a little damp. No, up here it's not, kind of down at the bottom. That's why I figured I'd just push it back to be on center with that beam. And then that way it's hopefully not gonna have to worry about any water getting to it. Might just come in and coat it with some outdoor paint, and then that way I don't have to worry about any light water getting on it. It's gonna be outside. That doesn't seem to leak as long as it's shut. A little water there just because it's been open and I've been walking around everywhere and sweeping up with a wet broom. It's been sitting in the back here for, I don't know, 6 months or more. So I'm not super concerned about anything happening to it. But yeah, I think once I get around to finishing it up, it should be pretty decent, pretty quiet. I think I'll take some foam board up at the top, and then maybe just use some more of that cheap plywood up there just to cover it up, hold it there so it doesn't, you don't hear the rain as loudly, and you don't get the heat coming through. And try and put solar panels up there, hopefully. I might just do a kind of rack system. I've got some like aluminum pipe right there. Kind of hate to use it for that, but if I screw that to the roof, then I can mount anything to it and not have to worry about putting more holes in or taking anything out. It's just up there. So try and do something so it just is permanent and don't have to worry about anything getting destroyed. But yeah, I think it should be pretty decent. It's kind of nice having what I have done finished so far. Screwed that into all the extra 2x2s that I could just to give it some support. Pushed down on it pretty good, waiting to see it give a little bit, but that didn't happen. So I think it'll be a nice little setup for anything but some like super heavy wood. It does look like it's kind of separating there, but not too bad. I'll probably just put a couple L brackets in the corner up there, maybe at the bottom too. That, or just take some of this extra plywood I got, probably just face it on the corners, maybe do something in the middle, and then have it have some cabinet doors on it. So those are some options, things you could think about for yourself. Hopefully this is helpful.